Guys, I almost sent it. And then I realized, oh, I didn't even have my mic set up. I almost sent it all the way with no mic. So I'm glad I caught that. But it's been a new day. I had my rest. They call me Ziggy 9 to 10. I had my 9 to 10 hours. I'm rejuvenated. I'm ready to watch another episode of this show. Previous episode was a little too cray. The one before that I already liked. And then now things are getting even weirder, I have to imagine. Season 2, episode 5, Lost and Found. People said you couldn't be your own dad, but what if you were your own grandparent or great-grandparent? Right? So that's, maybe you can't give birth to yourself, but what if one of your kin gives birth to yourself? Right? Because again, it doesn't matter how it was created. It just matters that it is. Right? That's what the guy said. That's the paradox they're rolling with. So I'm rolling with it too. You don't have to think of, okay, well, how would you even give birth to yourself the very first time? It just is. I don't know. He also said, okay, a few things. There's a loophole. There's a final cycle. And then we have, I don't know what the timeline is going to be in this episode. Maybe 2 days left, maybe 3 days left before shit hits the fan. English. Gehrman. Am I in the time loop? Didn't I already watch this? Okay, so he's scarred now. So this is older them. Right? You saw the scar for a bit on his shoulder. Okay. There's just on his back. Is this metaphor for him giving birth? Not him giving birth, but well, okay. Let me at least get to the intro. It's kind of cool because that's basically season 1, episode 1. This kind of shot. Is that him and Marta? So obviously she was pregnant, and then the takeaway is that it was evil or tainted or shouldn't have happened or it's corrupted or messed up or something like that. And that's his. Fuck you, Adam. Okay. Got his stuff. Okay. And then I don't know if I cut it or whatever, but there's a part where he says one's body's not meant. I'm getting it slightly wrong, but one's body's not meant to be able to go back and forth through time. And that's presumably how he got so scarred, is he was. Okay, I'm going to go into this thinking, because I think this is correct. I'm going to go into this thinking, I could be wrong, but this is how I'm going with it. I'm going to go into this thinking that everything that's about to happen is the first time that it's happened. Because this guy is saying we're going to get set up for the final cycle. All it needs is a push. All the pieces are in place. So I'm going to roll with everything has happened and is happening concurrently. But in this sort of timeline with 2050, 80, and 2000 and 2050, all of them like at the same point, this is the first time this stuff has happened. If that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Okay. Everybody's just staring at sleeping people. It's creepy. Okay, but can I show you a picture? Maybe? No? Okay. It's frustrating when this happens in shows when like it's everybody knows that thing. It's frustrating when that happens. But whatever, we roll with it.
Sag, dass alles gut wird.
And then that's a good choice to. That's a good choice to move the camera.
Sag, dass alles gut wird.
They focus on her and then focus on. Well, now you got to bust out, man. 33 years and now he has a reason.
Alles klar, Herr Kommissar?
Now he has a reason. Ooh.
Frau Tiedemann?
And Ulrich
Die
is
französische Delegation.
about to
Alle
leave
warten
or
schon. Ich
something.
denke, Sie sollten jetzt besser.
Ooh.
Ein Mensch lebt 3 Leben. Das erste
Okay.
endet mit
Oh.
dem Verlust der Naivität. Wir haben das Jahr 1921. Streng genommen hast du noch 89 Jahre.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah,
Knabberzeug.
but also he's only got 3 days. If he, I mean, sure.
Leute können ja sagen, was sie wollen. Die ganze Rede.
Perfect.
Okay. Let me just get out of here and close and lock this and bust out
Du warst lange nicht hier.
like Sarah Connor. Kinda.
Denk einfach drüber nach. In Ordnung?
I have to imagine. Oh, see, I don't know because then I just said. I was gonna say I have to imagine whatever she's doing to prevent his death is gonna cause his death, but then that runs contrary to what I said earlier about this being, if this is the final cycle. Maybe okay. Well, no, this doesn't contradict itself. Claudia hasn't done anything different than what she's always done. Jonas is about to do something different than he's always done. That's how I'm rolling with this.
Jonas.
Er ist verschwunden. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wo er ist.
She calls him Jonas,
Du hast gesagt, du hast Mikkel gesehen.
right? Instead of like
Du warst da.
last time
Wie komme ich zu
she
ihm?
didn't believe him, but now she just comes in saying Jonas. I don't know who this is. Do I know who this is? I don't know what. I gotta imagine this is these two people, but they don't look. I don't know. And you were.
Ich kann einfach nicht fassen, dass du mit meinem Mann und mit meinem Sohn geschlafen hast. Aber du wolltest ja schon immer alles haben, was mir gehört. Du bist wie ein Parasit. Hat dir Ulrich eigentlich jemals gesagt, dass er dich liebt?
At least give her that much.
Immer für uns entscheiden.
At least give her that much. No, he never did. Okay. At least give her that one.
Das nicht vergisst, wenn das eigene Kind vermisst wird. Frau Nielsen,
Klausen.
ich hätte dich von allen Menschen als
This guy just walks in, starts swinging his big dick energy questions around.
Kennen Sie diese Person?
Nein.
With the zoom. Ah! Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Macbeth. I think that one's Romeo and Juliet, but I still don't know. Is that a different play, or is that what it's called in Germany? Romeo and Julia. Huh. Maybe that's like the writer bar. Okay. What are we doing here? With black string. I may have seen this at a certain point. But I forgot what it is. I might remember it later, but I forget it. I'm pretty sure I saw that at a certain point, but I forget it.
Ich habe 66 Jahre gebraucht, um herauszufinden, wie. Einen Weg dieser ganzen Hölle zu entkommen.
By killing everybody. Maybe. Killing everything.
Knapp eine Woche her. Anliegen, dass jeder noch seine eigene Acht gibt.
This dude.
Bezahlt er sie?
This dude is so fucking smart.
Alexander Tiedemann.
Yes.
Ich verstehe sie nicht ganz.
God, I love this guy.
Was sie nicht verstehen. Das ist alles.
Es geht dann.
Oh, okay. That's why that picture looked weird, is because it's her, and I was like trying to match it with him and his son, you know, Jonas and Michael. I was like, is that really them? But that's gotcha.
Bemerkenswert, dass auch Frau Nielsen das gleiche Verständnis teilt. Naja, vielleicht ist das so in einer Kleinstadt. Man teilt nicht nur die Geheimnisse.
Yes, dude.
Sondern auch Geld und Bett.
Boo! Oh! God, I love that guy. God, I love that guy. Ooh. Is that a rumbly in my tumbly? Wait, what is that? Shh, 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 shh. I just hear nature and birds and shit. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Oh my god. Okay, I want to watch that one more time.
Ich will wissen, was du weißt.
Um,
Das alles hier hat etwas mit mir zu tun.
I think
Weißt du, wer meine Eltern sind?
you might be right. I don't know what it all has to do with you, but I think you're kind of related to it. I think you're kind of related to
Er
it.
ist nicht mein richtiger Großvater.
Okay, so maybe, hold on, one other thing. Maybe this Jonas is already on the path to becoming Adam. Young Jonas is the one that could change stuff. I think that makes sense. Does it make sense? Because yes. Right now, everything is the exact same. He doesn't know exactly what Noah's going to do, but probably the same thing as last time. Fuck, I don't know. If I think about it, then it fucks me up. Dark. Quote, if I think about it, then it fucks me up. End quote. Did you guys at least bring me like food or something? Can I pee? Can I shit?
Was ist das?
My neck must be fucking killing me if I slept like that.
Noch eine Nacht hier bleiben?
Ariadne on the phone.
Teilchen, das allen Dingen ihre Masse verleiht.
Okay.
Eine Sensation.
Okay.
Wenn die Daten stimmen, dann müssen wir damit an die Öffentlichkeit.
Well,
Ich habe dir bereits gesagt,
that's
dass man manche schlafende Hunde.
okay. I mean, they'll probably get more context to it. I still don't necessarily understand. It's the thing that gives all things its mass. I'm just going to look up these names. Okay. Here is the idiot's guide to particle physics. And you guys know I failed physics twice, so I'm the perfect teacher for this. Here is Particle Physics 101 Dark Edition with your teacher, Ziggy. Okay. And this is all from Wikipedia, so of course it's correct. You have a thing called a gauge boson. This is a force carrier, which is a particle that gives rise to forces between other particles. The forces are essentially gravity, electromagnetic, and then a strong and weak interaction. Those are the four forces: gravitational, electromagnetic, strong and weak interactions. Gravity, low gravity, electromagnetism. We kind of understand electromagnetism, electrically charged particles. Weak, I believe it deals with the decaying of things, is the mechanism of interaction between subatomic particles that is responsible for the decay of atoms. And then the strong interaction is essentially the binding of, this is getting like quarks and nucleons and shit, but essentially the strong interaction like couples them together. Okay? That's all correct because it's straight from Wikipedia. Now, nowhere in there is there a boson that has, or a force that generates mass. Okay? You have gravity, electromagnetism, strong and weak, but nothing that gives mass to things. However, there was found to be some bosons that had a relatively large mass. And Englert, Brodt, and Higgs, there's a couple other scientists, Hagen and Kibble, and I guess all five of them work together independently, whatever. There's 5 names in Wikipedia. They came up with the Higgs mechanism, or this, I don't want to say theory, or this, whatever. The Higgs mechanism is what it's called. I don't know if it's a theory or law or something. In order to explain how you can have both without contradicting themselves. How can you have something that is giving something else mass? And this was their proposed theory or formula, which from Wikipedia was saying in 2013, December of 2013, they won the Nobel Peace Prize for their theoretical predictions. It was found to be true from a Large Hadron Collider test that they did, which kind of like found that thing. In mainstream media, the Higgs boson has often been called the God particle, although the nickname is strongly disliked and regarded as sensationalist. But yeah, so you have bosons that have these 4 forces: gravitational, electromagnetic, strong, and weak. Nothing in there explains how things get mass, except some of them did have mass. And these scientists theorized how that could work. Okay, that could work if there was another particle that gave things mass. And then in real life, not just in the dark fiction, in real life, the God particle is a real thing that gives things mass. Or explains how that happens. Somebody will correct me on that, but I think that's basically it. So they essentially, I guess, more or less replicated that test, which caused a huge explosion. But in the results of that, they were able to find. Okay, what's the... I gotta think about what's the fucking timeline here. He is 8 months older. Oh, he is 8 months old. Whatever, I'm just gonna say 8. He was taken in November. It's June or something, and Ulrich is 34. Okay. I put the sleeping stuff in yours. That's what my mama. It's just how mama makes it. I don't know how I feel.
Sie kommen mir irgendwie bekannt vor.
I don't know. Am I sad? Am I happy? Am I like neutral?
Ich habe über 33 Jahre auf diesen Moment gewartet.
I guess that plays to how they shot it and framed it and stuff. Like, even the characters don't really know how they feel. 33 years and he's just sitting there drinking juice and like... Oh!
Die Frage ist nicht wie, sondern wann. Was hast du gesagt? Erinnerst du dich?
Oh shit!
Wir erschaffen eine neue Welt. Ohne Zeit.
I think he's just nuking everybody.
Was heißt das?
He got the 25 kill streak, just dropping a nuke on
Das ist
time.
das, was die Menschen seit Jahrzehnten und im Schatten.
Okay. I heard everything you said. I didn't, I mean, I feel like, okay. I heard what you said, but I feel like I didn't really hear what you said, but I heard what you said. Ooh. Ooh.
Ich habe ihr versprochen, dich zurückzubringen. Ich habe dich alle Jahre gesucht.
So even, yeah, right. So everybody's motivation is to save their family, which is kind of cool. And they're all doing slightly different things in order to do that, which is, you know, do you want to save, I forget what the thing is, but it's like, would you push the one person off the bridge in order to save the 5 people? Whatever the train track thing is, right? Like, and everybody's choosing to get everybody else killed to save their family.
In 2 Tagen. Aber ich weiß jetzt, was ich tun muss.
So Noah's
Ich
doing
muss
something
Adam
different.
vernichten, damit alle leben.
Jonas is doing something different. I
Nicht
don't
nur
know.
die im Bunker. Adam vernichten,
I don't know if
damit alle leben.
everyone lives. Not just those in the
Nicht nur
bunker.
die im Bunker.
Okay, so that would explain how the daughter made it and nobody else did, and she's older, right? She didn't like just Nightcrawler teleport there. So it's some sort of nuclear fallout or something. But what Jonas is saying makes it seem like the world is going to end, not just, oh, Vinden is destroyed. Teehee. But is that, oh, it's okay. Is the shit, did they try to do the shit to end, and that was what caused the nuclear power plant to blow up to then find that, right? Because just press play. Just press play.
Wer ist meine Mutter?
Because if he's saying, right, I want to save everybody, not just those that live in the bunker, it makes it seem like it's a fallout situation and not the end of the world. But Jonas, I thought his plan was to end the entire world. We're going to have a world without God. That's the actual thing that I'm trying to get. Who is your mom?
Sie hat dich sehr geliebt. Das tut sie noch immer.
Okay. Does that mean... Fuck you. Does that mean... in 2020 she's still alive? Or does that mean in that time she's still alive and still loves you? Okay, so you take Eric, right? You take Eric in order to lure the kids to the cave with the drugs, and then Noah has a tie-in to Bartosz. Hey, I was a drug dealer. Hey, you want to meet up? And then that's his tie-in to Bartosz. So Eric's got to die in order to get Bartosz into play. Yazan has to die for, I don't really know why. Mads has to die, also don't really know why. We need 2 kids to be at the nuclear power plant in order for Ulrich to keep him there, because otherwise he just goes back and takes Helge. But then you don't really need 2 kids, you just put 1 kid there. Mads is Ulrich's brother in order to get Aegon to do his thing. I guess that's that. That explains that. That puts Aegon on his path and Ulrich on his path, and sure. Yazan is taken just so that Noah can meet with the deaf girl to give her the watch. Like, I don't really... I'm not entirely sure why you have to take Yazan.
Genau. Ich gehe jetzt nach Hause. Du musst mir glauben.
I think she kind of does because of the dream stuff. And she lingers there longer than everybody else. But it doesn't seem like he told her that part. So maybe Noah got everything he needed out of Bartosz and doesn't really have that much of a use for him anymore. Music still has those same like kind of overtones of that like sort of violin, the like almost the type of the music you would hear for suspenseful like horror film, but then it has that sort of like pulsing sort of drum beat underneath it because of the pacing of the chase scene.
Mikkel. Michael.
But I didn't know he knew. I mean, I knew I knew he knew, but I didn't know he knew like that. And then you gotta go to school with your dad, but you can't tell your dad he's your dad. And your other dad is...
Unser Vater ist nur ein kleiner Teil.
So this is his equivalent of the string.
Wenn sich nichts verändern lässt, dann hast du dieses Gespräch bereits geführt?
Und genau diese Frage gestellt.
Right, we haven't gotten to the point where he's doing something different yet, I think.
Es gibt Momente, die verändern uns für immer.
And this guy, some moments change forever. And this guy, when he was saying the body can't go back and forth in time, there's kind of the implied... It's implied with how disfigured he is that he tried. He had this conversation, this guy doesn't believe it, I'm gonna change time, and this guy was flip-flopping back and forth and trying to push people in different places and trying to save this person and do this, and that didn't work, so go into another timeline and change this, and go into another timeline and change it, and it all ends up being the same thing, and then eventually 66 years later, oh yeah, that's right.
Jede Entwicklung baut auf der
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
Dann das Automobil.
That's kind of what I thought, that when I was sort of going off on that tangent about everybody in the town of Vinden is being fucked with a little bit, when I was saying like Peter and the love of my life in the trailer park, and then he goes to the bunker, and then that possibility is that everybody else is being moved around and doing that stuff. So that was kind of right. That's fucking fuck, dude.
Halt! Halt, stopp, anhalten! Das sind meine Kinder! Magnus! Martha!
Glaubt ihr mir jetzt?
Fuck, dude.
Ich habe alles kaputt gemacht. Ich weiß.
Vielleicht hast du das schon immer.
Cold-blooded.
Du brauchst niemanden. Du brauchst nur dich selbst.
Okay, did you at least take the gun from her? Is Hannah gonna end it? I got so many questions. I've got so many questions. So they didn't have access to this beforehand.
Schick dich genau zu dem Tag, zu
And
dem du reisen möchtest.
he said the exact day, so it breaks the
Es
33.
entspricht den 33 Jahre Zyklus.
Der Tag, bevor alles passiert ist. Bevor Papa sich das Leben genommen hat.
If you stop him,
Bevor alles auseinandergefallen ist.
Wenn du ihn davon abhalten kannst, sich das
then
Leben
you
zu
don't
nehmen,
go right, then you don't find yourself as Marta does that, then he doesn't go back right.
Mikkel wird nicht zurückreisen.
I mean, with these shots here, it kind of feels like, it kind of feels a little like it's also, we haven't actually seen, so we haven't actually seen, I'll call him Michael. We haven't actually seen Michael's room. So, you remember his studio, right? If his studio was like that in the future, maybe his room, maybe there's a reason why she has to help him get to sleep. Maybe she's a horrible parent. But maybe once we see like what his room is and we see that outside, he's dressed and he looks normal, whatever, and he met Pop. But in his room, in his own space, whatever, he's just a fucking mess. And he can't sleep and can't eat and can't do anything. I don't know, because it seems like he's going to school too, so that I don't know. And he stays at the house willingly, so it's not like she, ties him to the bed or some weird shit, because every night he tries to run off to the cave. So that I don't know. There's got to be something more there. There's got to be something more there. Aegon Targaryen is gonna pass on in a couple days, I guess. Claudia and the scientist guy are figuring out their thing. If he stops Mikkel, if he stops Michael from killing himself, then everything sort of falls apart. Because after Michael kills himself, then again there's months that we didn't see. 5 months, I believe, the therapist said. Or no, his Bartosz said when he goes back to school, he's like, you've been gone 5 months. I told people you're in France, but I was in the loony bin. So there's a 5-month period of time after that to then before the story happened. And we also don't know anything about Jonas's childhood and then the summer with him and Marta, right? We shared a moment during the summer or something like that. Ulrich is all fooped up, seeing all of his kids. And hopefully, at least, he realizes that his older kids are okay. Because his son, and even he knows it, right? If he realized I didn't kill Helge, okay, then it's just the same thing over and over. Then he realizes his son is kind of stuck there, but his other kids, when he drove past him on the road, like, okay, in a couple days, right? When he calms down, a couple days. It only takes a couple days to get over time trauma. That they'll be okay, but that was a little. I didn't expect him to like talk to his son. But then like, there's gotta be like, I don't know, because it's not over. So I think Adam has even more shit than he's letting on. There's a part of me in the back of my head that thinks, okay, he wants the world to blow up. And then I have to imagine when Jonas goes back to try to stop his dad from killing himself, his dad is like not gonna be, oh, you're my son, I was expecting you. I don't know. Who's Charlotte's mom? Charlotta. Who's Charlotta's mom? I fucking love this. I love it so much. The inspector guy, Alexander, Regina, that scene. I didn't like it, but I liked it. Hannah, Katarina, the kids. The one little thing that was like, that's all that always frustrates me, is when, hey, I just have to tell you one thing. All right, let me show you this one thing. We can't. There's no time for that. It doesn't really happen in real life. Hey, I got a photo of your son. I've got a photo of your brother in the past. It's weird. Okay. Lost and found. Okay, wait, in the next one. Done, next. Done, next. Who's her mom?